How would you feel about a TV show similar to Undercover Boss, but instead of companies they secretly infiltrate and film police forces? The only people that believe Undercover Boss is real are people who never worked retail. Hate that show with a passion. Out-of-touch boss in dollar store disguise pretends to be poor. Then shockingly blesses two workers with a pittance for being able to use their shitty life for content. Duck off. Uck, honestly. Here's a car for the one who had the best sad story, the rest of you can duck off. The boss always pretends to be so personally affected, but they never actually change anything that matters. It ends up being a total circle jerk. Their stories are also touching and sad. Let me end their troubles right now by closing down this branch and outsourcing their jobs to Bangalore. Chill, man. We only take it jobs, man. Your retail job is safe. This comment made me audibly laugh. I think they call that a lol. Call it a what lol? Jesus ducking Christ, that username. Lol, everyone has to know Undercover Boss is fake though, right? Like some guy shows up to your work with a camera crew, you know exactly what's happening. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a radar technician. Yo, Matt sucks. I'm like 97% sure Matt is Kylo Ren. I knew it. Hi, I'm Matt. Lol, the police union would never let that happen. And then we learned that Chief Wiggum was not an exaggeration. TBH, I'd rather see an undercover lobbyist bribing politicians. Let's find out how little money it takes for your local congressperson to sell out to corporations. It's so ridiculous how little money it takes. They bribed Reggie Bush to go run a football at USC more than most of these congresspeople are getting. It's so ridiculous how little money it takes. Seriously, it's like as little as $2,500. You'd think corruption would be in the millions, but it's so little in real life. In cash, yes. But it's tens of thousands and sometimes millions in favors, cushy jobs, consulting gigs for post-retirement and for family. The biggest trade is influence. As a common person, it's something we'll never have to offer. I never get how the politician is sure that the company is going to give them the job. Can't the company just opt out and say, actually, you're no use to us? Can't really make a contract for something that's illegal. True, but it all works on favors and implications. If a company betrays a politician, the politician can use their other influence to dick said company over. It's one of the reasons you can't change the system from the inside. Everyone has dirt on everyone else. A journalist in France did this. TheGuardian.com, surprise, surprise, a ton of racism and a predilection towards solving things violently. Guess what happens in America? n.m.wikipedia.org, they'll lock you in a ducking psych ward. Well, we had Live PD. Also, Undercover Boss is fake scripted nonsense just like the rest of reality TV. I like Live PD. Rip in peace, Lived. At first I misread this as Undercover Bees and thought, damn, I would watch the hell out of that show. Also, your idea is cool too. Jessica, which one do you choose, Brandon or Brian? I choose Brian. Oh, sorry, Brian was really 10,000 bees in disguise. Not again. Here I am looking to find an A+ kinda guy and all the men I picked turn out to be bees. You'd probably be bored watching it and surprised at how awful people are. Anyone who works with the general public wouldn't be surprised. How would you feel about stopping whorish? How would you feel about insert popular concept? It's so transparent and people eat this shit up. Sort of exists. It is called bodycam. You'd be really disappointed. There are shitty cops, but there's way more shitty people. I used to work with a police department and everyone I worked with loved their bodycams. It saved them a lot of time in court when people alleged they were racist or unprofessional in any way. They would just roll the tape and wait. Super true. Also, 99.9% of police work is super boring, although you could say that about pretty much any job, I suppose. Even when I was part of a super busy department, it was more like 96% boring or rudimentary bullshit. Lol, you really want to watch us deal with Meth Head James for the 5th time tonight? Okay. I work in a top 3 most violent city in the US. 95% of my day is taking theft reports, 4% trying to take a break and eat poop, 1%, if at all some days, is doing lib-type shit. I don't have time to do the shit people accuse me of doing lamau. I feel like I've enough with this kind of AskReddit posts, and I've no bloody clue why anyone would continue to upvote such low-effort Reddit crap. It's either this or imagine you can sex. What would you sex while you sex? Most of the people on this site are delusional. Everyone would be shocked at how scummy the average public is with the domestic violence, chronic drug use, aggravated assaults, hit runs, how resisting arrest leads to bad things, and how fighting with a cop is a losing proposition. This public would be totally shocked if they saw and understood the number of people shot by their fellow citizens in places like Chicago. The police have to deal with this scum knowing if they are the next to be shot. What really needs to be taught to the public is what the rules of engagement are for the police. If the public followed the same rules, 99.9% of the problems would be solved. Being a cop is about the shittiest job in the world. We need many more minority police also. So Live PD? They had that, it was called Live PD. I get why they cancelled it, but I love the show to death. Lol, I know AskReddit is pretty shit, but this is on another level. A rhetorical question meant to jerk off the Reddit hive mind. You may enjoy 60 days in. Not the exact thing you're talking about, but still good. More nurses secretly kill people than cops. There is a book called New Jack by Ted Conover where he goes to work as a guard in Sing Sing prison. Not exactly policing, but an interesting read. I would definitely watch it, but realistically it would never happen, and the undercover officer would have a pretty hard time being a convincing officer and staying out of danger. Call it, Cops. I would love that. A good chance to show how cops are normal, good people who do their jobs with respect and integrity. I think this post was supposed to be more about seeing what goes on behind the closed doors of police stations and less about the actual Undercover Boss show. P.S. I worked in a police department for a few years. That show would be crazy boring. Sounds like a really good way to get arrested. I would much prefer the opposite show. An hourly employee is dropped into the executive ranks. The reveal at the end and what they have to say about the job and the other executives would be amazing. Lots of vulgarity, lots of jokes, lots of love as well. Some negativity, obviously. Wouldn't be a bad idea, TBH. Well, there are undercover agents operating inside drug and prostitution rings. It only takes one idiot who thinks he made a good shot to publish that data, and soon you find some chopped up kids and a massacred police officer. That used to be journalism. It can be, apply at your department and do it. I'd hate it as a reality TV show. But, it should be done by some sort of official org. How about they just wear their ducking body cams? And anytime a cop gets prosecuted for doing something illegal on camera, the footage is made public. Yeah, let's bash the police some more. Move along, try working the job and then promote this nonsense. They used to have one. It was called Cops. Isn't this like Ike? Just spitballing here, but Live PD and or Cops? Lol. And both those shoes were taken off air. How would I feel about it? I probably wouldn't watch it, like I don't watch Undercover Boss. Like the 60 Days in type of show. It would be much less exciting than you think. Wouldn't be necessary if all cops wore body cams all the time. Which they should, and can. It's not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Cop here, you will find that the majority police departments and the officers are boring, and just do their job correctly. Doesn't make much news though, so that's why the asshole criminal cops get all the attention. Remember, there are around 750,000 sworn cops in America. Not even 1% are criminals any given year, and if they are, good chance they are usually charged, but again, you don't read about it at a national level.